You think Justin Trudeau is really, since he's a little actor, blackface Hitler, you think he's all these different things. He's silly, he's this and he's that. He just shut that protest down in a weekend. In a weekend. Shut it down. Easy. Is he really that weak? I just want to know, how is this going to affect us in the future? There's a lot that's going on right now that we need to pay close attention to, because things are going to be changing, and they're going to be changing rapidly here in the next couple of few years. And figure out what the hell is going on. So spanning from what's going on now, and we know that there's been worldwide protests since before COVID. COVID has brought on a bunch of different types of protests, and there were way more protests at the beginning of COVID, but now people are starting to progressively get less and less patient with all of the different mandates and things that we have to do whenever it comes to dealing with the pandemic. The truckers' convoy in Canada looked to solve this because they didn't want to have mandates going in between the countries whenever they have to go in between the countries too often. The United States border and Canadian border, they have to go through there all the time. But if they have to have their mandates and they have to have all these different rules, it's slowing them down from making money when none of our money is worth what it used to be. It's crazy how much our money has, the value of our money has dropped. And it's been consistently dropping, guys. Let's not act like this is a surprise. Everybody talks about it, and then they act like, oh, haha, isn't that funny? It's the end of a civilization. Everybody's fucking laughing. Everybody's laughing like it's a big joke. But these people are not fucking joking. They are not joking, guys. These people are not joking. You think Justin Trudeau is really, since he's a little actor, blackface Hitler, you think he's all these different things. He's silly, he's this and he's that. He just shut that protest down in a fucking weekend. In a weekend. Shut it down. Easy. Is he really that weak? Is he really that much of a pussy? Not only that, but he actually got 180 to 150 votes to keep his Emergencies Act going on. Is it permanent? Is it not? I don't know. But what the hell is the Emergencies Act, and what the hell is going on here? Because a lot of stuff that's going on in Canada can happen over here as well. So I wanted to get a little bit of information on what the Emergencies Act is, and what, how far of a spanning reach does it? Oh my fucking God. Okay. So I'm trying to see what the Emergencies Act is. The Emergencies Act, which became a law in 1988, is a federal law that can be used by the federal government in the event of a national emergency. Something that seriously endangers the health and safety of Canadians. The four types of emergencies that can be declared under the Emergencies Act is a public welfare emergency, a public order emergency, which is probably what he did, is because they're not being orderly at all, an international emergency, and a war emergency. The Emergencies Act can be invoked to grant temporary, additional, and necessary powers to the federal government when provincial, territorial, and federal tools are no longer sufficient to deal effectively with the serious issues being faced. Interesting. Looks like we can do a lot of things with this stuff. And if you guys want to go online and look it up for yourself, you can very easily look it up at canada.ca, and they have all the information about the Emergencies Act on here. But this is another story I was wanting to go over. The Emergencies Act Committee, who are the ones that are deciding all of the different ins and outs of what they're going to be doing with this version of the Emergencies Act, because it's not all encompassing. They're going to have some different rules and regulations and different things that they want to have in there. Members of parliamentary committee set up to scrutinize the Emergencies Act will have to take an oath of secrecy, but will not be given access to highly classified material. I am so relieved. That's so relieving. Oh, I'm so glad that they're not actually going. Oh, wait a minute. They did. They're doing all this. Doesn't seem relieving anymore. Senator Mark Gold also told senators that ministers are receiving hourly police updates about potential threats in the country if the emergencies law is still needed. That is, if the emergencies law is still needed. And it looks like the act was also passed through the Senate, which plans to hold extra long sittings to debate it. If it fails to approve the act, would be immediately revoked. But they didn't. He figured it out, and he got the support that he needed. Justin Trudeau did. And here we are now. Trudeau government moves to expand surveillance powers over financial transactions. Permanent. Oh no! They're playing games with us, or have they been trying to do this the whole time, and now they finally have a reason? People in the Western Hemisphere have been having a bunch of different issues going on, and Canada's not much better, but it looks like Canada is about to become a little bit more tyrannical with their citizens. And this is scary. As all eyes were trained on the aggressive police sweep of the Ottawa trucker convoy this week, the police went through and cleared the shit out of. They cleared it all out, guys. There's no more trucker protest. All gone. All gone. The government can just be like, bye, and you don't have any recourse. Get out. Trash. I mean, that's what they're saying. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's administration was quietly moving to implement a sweeping expansion of surveillance power at the federal level. The Trudeau government's financial war against the truckers has been covered at length, but one underreported aspect of this broader assault on Canadian civil rights, civil liberties, is the effort to bring crowdfunding and payment service providers, two of the most prominent routes for financial transactions on the internet, under permanent control of centralized government authority. Now, here we go. They're going after crypto too, guys. They're going after crypto too. And if you think your fucking crypto's really protected like that, they can find your wallet. And I'm sure they're only a couple of steps away of finding exactly who you are. I don't believe that blockchain's going to be that good, because there's going to be people working on it and they're going to figure it out too. So what is the next step? You have to stay 10 steps ahead of them, because they're already 8 steps behind you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The Canadian Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, said that the government was using the Emergencies Act to broaden the scope of Canada's anti-money laundering and terrorist financing rules so that they cover crowdfunding platforms and the payment service providers they use. Because it's not only about the truckers. This isn't just about the truckers. They're expanding their power. That's exactly what they're doing, and it's smart. It's smart because you get enough support, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, we need to do this because of terrorists. Oh, scary. But it even said that they cleared the bridge before. They cleared one of the most busy bridges in Canada, and I would look it up if I was really that thorough, but we ain't going to be real thorough about it. They cleared it up before they did the Emergencies Act. So we know that they can actually clear it up without help. But they had to do the Emergencies Act because this is a great opportunity, and you never let a great crisis ruin a great opportunity. A great crisis becomes a great opportunity in a lot of these people's eyes, and that's exactly where we are now. The Emergencies Act is open to abuse. Toronto Sun. Now we're going to a Canadian. Prime Minister Trudeau's use of the never-before-invoked Emergencies Act is a glaring example of massive government overreach to end a political protest. An examination of 3 incidents during the Truckers' Freedom Convoy to Ottawa protesting vaccine mandates and other COVID-19 restrictions demonstrates why. First, the reopening of the Windsor-Detroit Ambassador Bridge, a vital link to Canada-U.S. trade, was accomplished without the Federal Emergencies Act. It reopened shortly before midnight Sunday, February 13th. Trudeau didn't invoke the Emergencies Act until Monday. Yeah, but it was reopened shortly before midnight. So I mean, pretty Pretty close timing. Pretty close timing. The bridge reopened after Premier Doug Ford invoked Ontario's emergency legislation, empowering him to be able to do the same type of stuff. In Ottawa, the Emergencies Act was a factor in ending the protest after 3 weeks. They ended it after 3 weeks, guys. They ended it after 3 weeks. So here's the thing. Now we have to get real. Now we have to get real. Because this is a question that I have for all of us, because I just wanted to go over, skim through a little bit of the notes. Y'all know how I do. We don't get too in-depth with this stuff. And we try to decipher exactly what the hell is going on. I want us to pay close attention to see if this stuff doesn't start drifting down into America, because a lot of their, especially a lot of the progressive politics are heading up there first, and then you see it come down south. So how often does this happen? Is this a big thing that happens? Is everything changing for us? Do you guys think this is going to affect us here in America? I think so.